Inside a fenced compound surrounded by barbed wire, 1,800 German prisoners of war sit in stunned silence. Before them, plates piled high with turkey, mashed potatoes swimming in butter, cranberry sauce glistening like rubies. They had survived on turnip soup and sawdust bread, and now they faced abundance beyond imagination. The guards called it Thanksgiving dinner. To the prisoners, it looked like propaganda until they realized it wasn't a trick. It was just another American Thursday. That night, as the smell of roasted turkey filled the camp, something far greater than hunger was being fed. A belief was dying, the belief that democracy was weak. To understand that meal, you have to understand the machine behind it. Because the story of America in World War II isn't just about soldiers. It's about production. Factories that once built cars now built B-17 bombers, one every 63 minutes. Women filled the assembly lines. Farmers doubled their yields while 12 million men served overseas. The nation didn't slow down. It accelerated. While Axis propaganda warned of starving Americans, the U.S. was shipping 17 million tons of food to its allies, and still had enough left over to feed its enemies. No empire in history had ever fought a global war and grown stronger while doing it. But the United States did. When captured German soldiers first received American rations, they couldn't believe it. A single K-ration box contained more food than their entire unit had seen in a week. Meat that was actually meat, chocolate, real coffee, sugar, even cigarettes. They called it the Miracle Box. To the Americans, it was just lunch. When the prisoners arrived by Liberty ships, they saw dock workers, men and women, black and white, laughing, smoking, eating sandwiches thick with meat and cheese. In Germany, that scene was impossible. Here, it was Tuesday. That was the first lesson the prisoners learned. America's strength wasn't built on fear. It was built on plenty. So when that first Thanksgiving came, the camp kitchens prepared a feast for thousands. Roast turkey with stuffing, sweet potatoes, pumpkin pie, fresh milk, coffee, and rolls still warm from the oven. Every prisoner received portions that would have fed a German family for a week. At first, they thought it was a show for propaganda films. But no cameras came. The guards ate the same food, laughed, passed out second helpings. Feldwebel Kurt Zimmermann wrote home, "If this is how they feed their enemies, then America is not a nation. It's a paradise." What broke them wasn't just the abundance, it was the casualness of it. This was normal. Every American family, they learned, was eating the same meal across the country. A month later came Christmas. They expected nothing, maybe thin soup, a loaf of bread. Instead, they received gifts, packages from American churches and families, filled with chocolate, soap, and hand-knitted scarves. Some even had notes, "To a German soldier far from home." "May God bring you safely back to your family." For men raised on Nazi propaganda, it was unthinkable. How could the enemy show such mercy? That night, American choirs stood outside the wire singing "Silent Night" in German, the same song their mothers had sung to them. Tough veterans wept openly. Some whispered that perhaps they'd been fighting the wrong kind of nation all along. The transformation didn't end with food. Prisoners assigned to American farms and factories witnessed what made this abundance possible. One farmer in Iowa could harvest what an entire German village needed weeks to do by hand. Machines worked day and night. Canning factories produced millions of tins a month, rejecting any that were dented or mislabeled. In Germany, that waste could feed a town. In America, It was called quality control. That's when they understood America didn't win because of luck or numbers. It won because it knew how to build. Even the sick and wounded were cared for. In American camps, prisoners received vitamins, dental care, and penicillin, luxuries their own civilians could only dream of. Doctors treated infections freely, without question. Dr. Friedrich Hoffmann, a captured German physician, wrote, "They treat our wounded as if we were their own. In Germany, we had no medicine for our children. Here, the enemy heals us." The soldiers began to see what true power looked like, a nation so confident it could afford compassion. Letters home became dangerous. German censors couldn't allow the truth to spread, that captured soldiers were eating like kings while their families starved. Some lied, writing of hardship to spare their loved ones. Others confessed quietly, "I eat meat every day. The Americans treat us better than our own." Those letters became silent bullets in the war of ideas, proof that democracy didn't just promise prosperity, it produced it. When the war ended and the prisoners returned to their ruined homeland, they carried something powerful home with them, not stolen blueprints or weapons, but knowledge. They'd seen a system that created more than it destroyed, that shared rather than hoarded, that built victory not on fear, but on faith. Faith in freedom, in production, in people. Many of those men helped rebuild Germany, using the American methods they'd witnessed behind barbed wire. America's greatest weapon wasn't its tanks or bombers. It was a dinner table. In the mess halls of prisoner camps, through simple meals served with dignity, a generation of enemies discovered what democracy truly meant. The nation that fed its enemies didn't just win the war, it won the peace. Because true strength isn't measured by destruction, but by the power to create.